Hello and welcome and namaste from New Delhi. I am Gautam Roy and this is Express News, the show where we get you the day's top 100 developments in less than 30 minutes. Here goes. The Indian government has released a detailed report on the identities and backgrounds of the Pahalgam terror attackers. The report mentions forensic, documentary and testimonial evidence collected during and after Operation Mahadev, conclusively showing that all three attackers were Pakistani nationals and senior Lashkar-e-Taiba operatives. The report mentioned that Sulaiman Shah was the mastermind and lead shooter, while Abu Hamza was the second gunman and Yasir was the third gunman and rear security. The report also mentioned that the terrorists were hiding in the Dachigam Harwan forest belt since the day of the attack. Notably, no local Kashmiri was part of the shooting team. Again in Jammu and Kashmir, Operation Akhal is in its fourth consecutive day with fierce exchanges of gunfire and intermittent blasts continuing overnight in the dense forests of Kulgam district. Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Sir Gangaram Hospital and paid homage to former Jharkhand Chief Minister and Jharkhand Mukti Morcha Chief Shibu Soren. The PM also met Shibu Soren's family and expressed his condolences. The upper house of the Indian Parliament, or the Rajya Sabha, paid tributes to Shibu Soren, who passed away on Monday after a prolonged illness. Replying to a supplementary question in the Lok Sabha, Union Minister Mansukh Mandavia has said that over 11 lakh, that is 1.1 million aspirants, got jobs in the last 16 months under the Rozgar Mela. The minister further added that as per the report of the RBI, more than 170 million youth have got employment in the last decade. Filipino President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. arrived in New Delhi on a 5-day state visit to India. The visiting leader will hold bilateral discussions with Prime Minister Modi and External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. The fact-check unit of the Press Information Bureau has called out social media accounts for spreading false claims regarding recent tariff-related developments between India and the US. Authorities suspended this year's annual Amarnath Yatra on Sunday, just a week ahead of its scheduled conclusion, due to the need for maintenance of the tracks, which were damaged by recent heavy rains. The 14th edition of the India-Singapore Joint Military Exercise is wrapping up in Jodhpur today. The exercise witnessed the participation of the 42 Singapore Armoured Regiment and the Indian Army's Mechanized Infantry Regiment. Now, these exercises enhance interoperability and operational coordination while reinforcing a shared commitment to maritime security and regional stability in the Indo-Pacific. India will host the first ever BIMSTEC Traditional Music Festival at New Delhi's Bharat Mandapam on Monday. The event has been organized by the Indian Council for Cultural Relations in association with the Ministry of External Affairs and comprises traditional vocalists and instrumentalists from the 7 member nations. Union Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav held a Viksit Bharat Samvad in Bhavnagar with traders, merchants, industrialists and prominent citizens. Addressing the gathering, the minister said that India has emerged as a major hub with $150 billion worth of electronics manufacturing. Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami participated in the program organized on the occasion of the 50th Nirvana Day of Sri Brahma Niwas Ashram, Haridwar. Speaking on the occasion, the Chief Minister said that many countries are learning about India's cultural practices and ancient philosophy. He also asserted that Rishikesh-Haridwar corridor will be constructed soon. Indian equity indices ended on a strong note on Monday. At close, the Sensex was up 419 points to stand at 81,019 and the Nifty was up 157 points to stand at 24,723. The Indian rupee ended up 13 paise to the dollar at 87.65 on Monday. Gold futures maturing on the 3rd of October were priced at 100,519 rupees per 10 grams on the multi-commodity exchange. And silver futures for the 5th of September maturity stood at 111,656 per kg on the MCX. The Reserve Bank of India's 3-day Monetary Policy Committee meeting began today. The central bank is widely expected to hold rates steady in its policy announcement on Wednesday. Global crude oil prices edged higher on Monday, pairing earlier losses as traders expect the market to absorb another large output hike by OPEC Plus in September. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq opened at record highs on Thursday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 0.46%, while the S&P 500 rose 1.01% and the Nasdaq Composite rose 2%. Thousands of members of a union representing Boeing defense industry workers in the U.S., that is in the states of Missouri and Illinois, will go on strike early on Monday after rejecting a revised proposal for a new contract. The American aerospace giant's initial proposal, which included a 20% wage increase over the period of 4 years and more vacation time, was rejected a week earlier. The new offer doubled the wage increase. US President Donald Trump plans to name a candidate to fill an open position at the Federal Reserve within the next couple of days after Fed Governor Adriana Kugler announced her early resignation last Friday. Dozens of trucks carrying aid bound for Gaza moved from Egypt on Monday. Israel has blamed the Hamas for the suffering in Gaza. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has requested the help of the International Committee of the Red Cross on Sunday to aid hostages in Gaza. The comments have come after the Hamas released a video of a starving hostage. The Hamas said it was prepared to coordinate with the Red Cross to deliver aid to hostages it holds in Gaza if Israel halts airstrikes, opens permanent humanitarian corridors. The International Committee of the Red Cross has said it's appalled by the harrowing videos and reiterated its call to be granted access to hostages. Following a request by Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar, the UN Security Council will hold a special session on Tuesday to discuss the 50 hostages still held by the Hamas in Gaza. Iran's top security body has approved the creation of a new defense council after a ceasefire ended 12-day conflict with Israel. The new body, chaired by the president, will be tasked with reviewing defense strategies and enhancing the capabilities of Iran's armed forces. Donald Trump said the U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff is expected to visit Russia this week, potentially on Wednesday or Thursday. The Kremlin has said on Monday that everyone should be careful about nuclear rhetoric in its first response to a statement by U.S. President Trump when he had ordered the repositioning of U.S. nuclear submarines. During a congress of his party, Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva emphasized the need for caution in discussions with the United States regarding tariffs imposed by President Trump. President Cyril Ramaphosa has said on Monday that South Africa will seek new markets as it continues to negotiate with the United States over looming 30% trade tariffs, emphasizing that the country poses no trade threat to the U.S. economy. South Korean authorities began removing on Monday loudspeakers blaring anti-North Korean broadcasts along the country's border as the new government of President Lee Jae-myung seeks to ease tensions with Pyongyang. Shortly after President Lee took office in June, his administration switched off propaganda broadcasts criticizing the North Korean regime as it looks to revive stalled dialogue with its neighbor. The secretariat-level meetings between representatives from Thailand and Cambodia began on Monday as part of preparations for the upcoming General Border Committee meeting. The General Border Committee meeting will be convened on Thursday in Malaysia. The United States and China will participate as observers in the proceedings hosted by Malaysia. At least 76 people have been killed and dozens are missing after a boat carrying mostly Ethiopian migrants sank off Yemen in the latest tragedy on the perilous sea route. A recent attack by Sudanese paramilitary fighters known as the Rapid Support Forces on civilians fleeing the besieged city in Darfur has resulted in at least 14 deaths and dozens of injuries. Lebanese President Joseph Aoun on Monday vowed that justice is coming 5 years after a catastrophic explosion at Beirut's port for which nobody has been held to account yet. A rescue operation in Chile at the world's largest underground copper mine ended Sunday with no survivors, as the body of a fifth missing miner was found days after a tunnel collapsed. Billionaire property tycoon Ong Beng Seng on Monday pleaded guilty to one charge of obstructing justice in a high-profile corruption case that led to the jailing of former Singapore Transport Minister S. Iswaran last year. Ong gave expensive gifts, including an all-expenses-paid trip, which included a private jet ride to Iswaran while they were engaged in official business. Well, we're taking a quick break at the moment, but we'll be back with the rest of Express News in just a bit. Stay with DD India.
Jharkhand will mesmerize you with majestic nature, rich heritage and colorful culture.
Hello. Johar.
Johar. It fits perfectly.
Thank you.
Full workout हो गया.
Ready?
Postcards from Jharkhand on National Geographic.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News on DD India. I'm Gautam Roy. Let's take this forward. Now, a blistering heat wave is sweeping across Spain and Portugal, with temperatures forecast to reach and in some areas exceed 40 degrees Celsius in the coming days. Spain's weather authorities have warned that some regions near the Guadiana and Guadalquivir rivers could see temperatures high above 42 degrees Celsius. The extreme heat is expected to persist at least through Thursday. Access to forests was restricted in Portugal on Monday after the government issued a high warning due to extreme heat and wildfire risk. Several towns in eastern Australia were covered with the heaviest snowfall seen in decades over the weekend. A scorching heat wave continues to grip large parts of Morocco, with temperatures soaring to 45 degrees Celsius. According to Morocco's Met Department, the heat wave is expected to persist through the weekend, especially in interior regions such as Marrakesh, Beni Mellal, Doordarshan and Erakshidia. 4 people died and more than 5,900 have been evacuated in southern Taiwan after the island recorded more than a year's rainfall over the past week, which caused widespread landslides and flooding. Beijing issued its highest alert for rainstorms on Monday, days after deadly deluges swept parts of Chinese capital and triggered a rare apology from the underprepared officials. The Indian Meteorological Department has issued orange alert for multiple states, predicting heavy rainfall on the 4th of August. Rain warning is in place for northern states of Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh and eastern state of West Bengal. Continuous heavy rains since Sunday have affected the traffic on many national highways in Uttarakhand after multiple incidents of landslides. The Border Roads Organisation is working to clear the roads and restore the routes for essential services and disaster management. And the neighbouring state of Uttar Pradesh is also reeling with flash floods and inundation in low-lying areas in many cities after heavy rainfall lashed the region. The Met Department has issued a red alert for the entire state, warning for extremely heavy rains. In Bihar, pleasant weather is expected to continue for the next few days, accompanied by strong winds that will provide relief from the humidity. Monsoon alerts have been issued in several districts. And the Met Department has forecast rain in Delhi on Monday. As per the Weather Department, the showers are likely to continue throughout the week in the region. In the southern parts of the country, widespread rainfall is expected in Karnataka over the next 7 days. Similar alerts have been issued for Kerala and Lakshadweep, forecasting continuous rainfall throughout the week. In the northeastern state of Sikkim, the National Highway number 10 will remain closed from Coronation Bridge to Chitre for 3 days. Several incidents of landslides have been reported at National Highway 10 recently due to rains. Clowns and street performers gather to attend the Karandash Fest in Russia. The festival is named in the memory of notable Soviet circus clown Karandash. Social media influencer George King Thompson, better known as Shard Climber, made the plunge of the Radisson Blu Scandinavia Hotel in the Danish capital. British artist Lucy Sparrow opens Bordon Street Chippy, an interactive recreation of a local fish and chip shop with each food item hand-stitched in fabric. It will remain open to the public till the 14th of next month. A special program titled Nagaland's Global Footprints, Cultural Diplomacy and International Engagements was held in Kohima to celebrate the state's growing international presence through cultural diplomacy and global collaborations. This year marks the 80th anniversary of the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The city now stands as a global symbol of peace and resilience. A viral video of 7-year-old Japanese schoolboy Shun Sasaki was seen offering free guided tours to foreign visitors of the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park to spread the message of peace. The streets of Aomori city of Japan lit up as the iconic Nebuta festival kicked off with a bang. 16 giant glowing floats showing brave warriors rolled through the streets of Aomori. In a bold stride towards net zero emissions by 2050, Vietnam unveiled a roadmap to transform crop production and curb agricultural emissions. Vietnam has added over 300 electric and CNG buses in a move to provide clean energy transport. These buses will add up to 50% fleet now running with clean energy fuels. In the Brazilian city of Rio de Janeiro, a historic marathon, Desafio de Ponte, also known as the bridge race, returned after 12 years. Thousands of runners participated in the 21-kilometer run. Song Young-kyu, the actor of Extreme Job, is no more. He was found dead inside a car in Gyeongin on Monday morning. The authorities are probing into the matter, suspecting no one as of now. Videos taken by witnesses showcase actress Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway as they film for Devil Wears Prada 2 in New York. Busta Rhymes, the iconic hip-hop singer, received a star on the famous Hollywood Walk of Fame on Friday. The artist was joined by a huge crowd that included entertainer LL Cool J. Busta Rhymes expressed his gratitude towards his fans, family and music idols after receiving the star. Stephen Knight was finalized as the writer of the next James Bond film on Friday. However, the iconic protagonist of the film has not been decided as yet as to who will play James Bond. Loni Anderson, the famous actress of the 80s who featured in the sitcom WKRP in Cincinnati, passed away on Sunday. The sitcom was aired from 1978 to 1982. Nickelodeon's Canadian channel is set to shut down on the 1st of September this year, alongside 5 other kids' channels, with younger audience moving towards YouTube and Netflix. Priyanka Chopra has arrived in India with daughter Malti on Monday morning to resume the shoot for her upcoming film with director S.S. Rajamouli. Actor Rajnikant's latest film, Coolie, soars on the North American box office, crossing advance ticket sales of over $1 million. Sabrina Carpenter grooves with Earth, Wind and Fire in an electrifying performance at the Lollapalooza 2025. Sports now, the dramatic 5th and final test between India and England at the Oval is underway on day 5. The match is heading towards a thrilling finish. English batter Harry Brook has created history, becoming the first player since 1955 to complete his 10th century in 50 innings or under. Joe Root has surpassed Kumar Sangakkara with 39th Test century at the Oval. He's also surpassed Sri Lankan great Kumar Sangakkara. Roston Chase has become the first batter to retire out during a men's T20I featuring 2 full-member teams when he went off during West Indies' chase of 190 in the deciding game against Pakistan in Lauderhill on Sunday. Brazilian javelin thrower Luiz Mauricio da Silva surpassed Neeraj Chopra to achieve the second best mark of the year with an attempt of 91 meters at the 2025 Brazilian Athletics Trophy in Sao Paulo on Sunday. The Archery Association of India on Monday announced the first of its kind archery league, which will see men and women recurve and compound archers from across the world competing in a franchise-styled tournament. Olympic champions Sabu McIntosh and Leon Marchand each took home their respective swimmer of the meet honours to wrap up the World Aquatics Championships in Singapore. Teenager McIntosh won her 4th gold medal of the week, winning the 400-meter individual medley with a championship record time of 4 minutes 25.78 seconds. Frenchman Marchand scrapped through in the men's 400 meters medley heats with a sluggish performance but recovered to win gold. Inter Milan captain Lionel Messi will be sidelined indefinitely with what the Major League Soccer team described as a minor muscle injury in his right leg in a statement on Sunday. Olympic champion Pauline Ferrand-Prévot scripted history by winning the Tour de France Femme on Sunday. Teenager Victoria Boko produced the shock of the tournament as she defeated top seed Coco Gauff to reach the quarterfinals of the Canadian Open on Montreal. Wimbledon champion Iga Swiatek followed Gauff as she was knocked out by 19th ranked Dana Clara Towson in the 4th round. Miyu Yamashita won the Women's Open to claim the first major of her career after the 24-year-old kept Shani Hull and Minami Katsu at bay to become the 4th different major champion from Japan in the last 2 years. And Brazilians embark on an epic bridge run after 12 years, the Riacho de Rio de Janeiro. Thousands of runners participated in the 21-kilometer race featuring a stunning 13-kilometer stretch across the Rio Niterói Bridge. And that's all we have at the moment in Express News, but all the latest continues right here on DD India. Stay with us.